Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Are you ready to be amazed by the stars who were once beauty icons but are now almost unrecognizable? In today's video, we reveal the most incredible celebrities who have aged, from the faces that once captivated the world to the stories behind their shocking transformations. Get ready, because this list will make you wonder. Have you ever been stunned when meeting an acquaintance only to realize that they look like they have aged a decade due to the storms of life? If you have experienced that unbelievable moment, leave a 1. If not, comment a 0. Immerse yourself in this dramatic video. Discover shocking stories about Hollywood stars, and don't forget to like, and follow us to reveal more top secrets. Imagine 1978. Chevy Chase, tall, handsome America's favorite prankster, tumbles across the Weekend Update desk and lands a 7-figure movie deal. Fast forward 40 years, and that confident stride has become a lurching gait, his beaming smile replaced by a near-constant scowl. Chase's decline isn't just weight gain or sagging skin, it's the tangible weight of grudges he's never resolved. Former colleagues recounted racist insults directed at Donald Glover on the set of community-sexist comments about female writers and a profanity-filled voicemail that led producer Dan Harmon to vow never to work with him again. Hollywood eventually stopped calling, but Chase continued to insist he was happy with himself. Now at fan conventions, he shows up with an oxygen tank by his side, an assistant propping him up at every step. The audience is a fraction of the crowds that once lined up to see Vacation. His jokes are more sarcastic, his apologies non-existent. The comedian who once turned his falls into art now seems stuck in a slow-motion slump from which he can't recover. As the bitterness etches itself on his face, you begin to wonder, is it gravity or guilt that's holding him down? Madonna once weaponized reinvention. She built an empire by staying one step ahead of cultural fatigue. But plastic surgery doesn't play to that tune. Today, her cheekbones are unnaturally high, her lips are too full, her skin is so tight that it's wrinkle-free but also immobile. Critics whisper she looks like a waxwork of herself. But the bigger tragedy lies in the artistry. The woman who once rocked the Vatican with a pop song is now a TikTok sensation with auto-tuned rhymes and self-filmed bathroom dances. On stage, she pushes 20-year-old dancers to their limits, tries to prove that 65 is the new 25, then collapses backstage amid rumors of an IV. Her social media feeds are littered with carefully filtered videos, but each layer of filter only highlights what it hides. She could have redefined aging for female icons. Imagine Madonna touring acoustic with silver hair and minimal lighting. Instead, she chases the youth that left her the moment she tried to hold on. The result is a face and legacy stuck in a strange limbo between nostalgia and denial. When the Queen of Pop doesn't take the time to remix her biggest hit, it becomes a loop that no one wants to hear again. Think of the deadly grace of 1988's Above the Law, the wispy ponytail, the lightning-fast wrists, the bad guys being thrown around like laundry. Now scroll through recent photos, a 300-pound figure slumped in a chair, hair dyed black, receding hairline, like the villain in his own straight-to-video script. Seagal insists he is still an Aikido master, but performance clips show his assistant falling over while he can barely lift his arms. Off-screen, the allegations pile up higher than any stunt actresses have spoken of, casting couch-style auditions. Crew members have reported racist insults, and 2 women filed assault charges in 2018. As Hollywood closed, Moscow opened. Vladimir Putin gave Seagal a Russian passport and an honorary desk job special envoy to promote U.S.-Russia friendship. Ironically, the FBI still wanted to talk to him. He appeared at photo ops in the Kremlin wearing a long black kimono tooting Siberian oil deals. Fans wondered, was he working undercover or was he just deluding himself? Aging magnifies every flaw that critics once overlooked: ego, laziness, delusions of invincibility. An action hero who refuses or cannot move becomes something worse than a statue of his own myth, gathering dust in the cold light of Russian state television. Have you ever wondered how much the pressure of fame can change a person's appearance, as if time were fast-forwarded? If you think it can completely transform, leave number 2. If not, comment number 5. Immerse yourself in this surprising video, discover shocking stories about Hollywood stars, and don't forget to sub-like to reveal more top secrets with us. In 1986's 912 Weeks, Mickey Rourke was charisma incarnate, mesmerizing eyes, a sharp square jaw, a slight smile that promised trouble. Then came amateur boxing, shattered cheekbones, a full-face reconstruction, and a cycle of cosmetic procedures that touched everything but time. Surgeons tried to recreate the screen hero. Instead, they created a mask. Even his haunting return in The Wrestler, nominated for an Oscar, did not stop him from pursuing another procedure and then another. Today, at 72, he roams Hollywood in velvet slippers, bleached platinum wigs, and midnight sunglasses, criticizing studio rats for not daring to cast real men. Paparazzi shots reveal swelling scars and a blank stare that seems more chiseled than alive. But colleagues whisper of a tender heart beneath the rubber armor, a kindness lost amid the punches and knives. Rourke's aging is not just a tragedy, it's a warning. Beauty, fame, ego pain. They all drove a man into a maze of mirrors where every exit seemed like another surgery. Each operation promised yesterday, but each result pushed him further from the face audiences once loved. Sometimes, the bravest thing a fighter can do is throw in the towel. Rourke kept swinging and the mirror responded. In 1994, Courtney Love launched herself off stage screaming "doll parts" as cigarette butts rained down on her baby doll dress, a beauty as raw and sharp as broken glass. Decades later, the screams remain, but so do the visible scars. Love's record reads like a toxicology report: heroin, prescription drugs, alcohol, rehab visits. Each relapse deepened her features, each quick fix attempted to cover them up. At 60, cheek fillers swelled and deflated, lips swelled and deflated, leaving a face in a constant state of flux. Natalie Portman is renowned for her outstanding acting talent and captivating beauty, perfectly complementing her exceptional acting skills. She first gained fame with her role in Leon the Professional at a young age, showcasing talent and maturity beyond her years. Throughout her career, Portman has been known for her dedication to her craft, fully immersing herself in her characters, whether portraying complex psychological roles or physically demanding ones. Her performances have received widespread acclaim and despite her success, Portman has managed to maintain a private personal life and steer clear of major scandals. She is also well known for her involvement in social causes, advocating for women's rights and environmental protection. To this day, Natalie Portman remains a highly influential figure in Hollywood, balancing her acting career with her role as a mother and social activist, inspiring audiences both on and off the screen. Cybill Shepherd rose to fame as a model and actress in Hollywood, known for her stunning beauty often described as glamorous and alluring. She first gained attention with her role in The Last Picture Show, where her elegance and natural presence captivated audiences. Throughout her career, Shepherd was praised for her versatility, easily transitioning between comedic and dramatic roles. However, she also faced her share of controversies, particularly due to her outspoken personality and turbulent personal life, which occasionally made headlines. Despite the ups and downs in her career, Shepherd continued to work hard in both film and television, earning praise for her performances in projects such as Moonlighting and Taxi Driver. Today, Cybill Shepherd remains active in the entertainment industry, balancing her acting career with music projects and book writing. While no longer dominating the spotlight as she once did, her contributions to Hollywood's golden age continue to influence audiences today. There was a time when Brigitte Bardot defined freedom sunbathing on the rooftops of Saint-Tropez, her hair flowing like rebellious silk. She retired at 39, vowing never to let the cameras swallow her again. She kept that promise, but traded the cinema stage for political minefields. Now, 89 Bardot rarely appears, her face unaltered by plastic surgery, but worn by time and the Provençal sun, along with her rigid beliefs. Bardot wrote books calling immigrants scum, paid fines for hate speech, and supported far-right candidates. The mermaid, once beloved by France, became its most irritating neighbor, shouting from behind closed doors. Her youthful smile was now worn down, etched by years of scowls at a world that no longer matched her ideals. Unlike others who pursued facelifts, Bardot's aging was cruel but honest. But honesty can be toxic. Photographers occasionally caught her tending to rescue animals, deep parchment-like wrinkles lining the eyes that once fascinated the planet. One can't help but wonder, has age unmasked prejudice, or has fame once concealed it? Either way, the contrast between an God-created woman and the woman now decrying modern decadence is perhaps cinema's most stark before and after. From the long-haired, sexy warrior in Braveheart, Mel Gibson was once the embodiment of raw charisma, both powerful and profound. But time has not only thinned his hair and thickened his stomach, it has also carved indelible creases in the public consciousness. A series of scandals, from anti-Semitic remarks to violent phone calls to ex-girlfriends to drunken driving arrests, have transformed Mel from a cinematic icon to a name that studios think twice about working with. His face, once captivating in the glow of epic films, now bore a weight not just of age, but of consequence. His eyes were no longer intelligently ironic, but always wary. His brows furrowed reflexively when the camera appeared, and his rare smile often seemed to hide unredeemed memories. Gibson returned with Hacksaw Ridge, a reminder that his talent was still there, but his career could not escape the shadow of the past. At 69, Mel oscillates between remorse and resentment, between artist and exile, in the very industry he once conquered. His terrible aging lies not in wrinkles or a slouching gait, but in the fact that the public no longer knows who he is, a directorial genius, a brilliant actor, or a cautionary tale of unchecked power. And while his physical appearance has deteriorated over time, it is his irrevocable words that have aged the Mel Gibson brand faster than any biological factor. Val Kilmer once exuded swagger, the icy smile of the Iceman, the Dionysian fire of Jim Morrison, the brooding chin hidden behind a Batman mask. He was the epitome of cold, almost untouchable beauty. Then throat cancer robbed him of the voice that had made him famous. Harsh surgeries to save his life left his neck deformed, and a tracheostomy tube took away his natural speech. Fans were stunned by paparazzi photos, his sharp jawline now hidden behind a scarf, his breathing tube peeking out from under his collar. But the toughest battles took place off-camera. Kilmer learned to speak again through AI voice reconstruction, acting through memoirs, poetry, and art exhibitions. Directors once called him difficult. Looking back, they see it as fear. Fear of not being good enough, fear of one day having no voice. In silence, Kilmer reinvented himself not as a star, but as an artist who accepts his limitations. He died on April 1, 2025, at the age of 65. His body was spent, but his spirit was still alive, leaving Val. The documentary is like a phoenix blade glowing from the ashes. Kilmer's aging was both tragic and gracious. His body disintegrated, but his humility rebuilt a reputation that his ego had once damaged. Unlike others, his decline felt less like a consequence than a fateful card, a reminder that disease, not time, is the real, invisible enemy. Lindsay Lohan lit up Mean Girls with a comedic flair that older actors would have envied. Hollywood dubbed her the next Julia Roberts, a new muse, an icon in the making. But the studio lights were quickly replaced by nightclub flashbulbs. From 2007 to 2012, Lohan was no longer the lead, but the center of a cycle prison rehab court and then back again. Candid photos capture the decline of time. Sunken cheeks, chapped lips, pleading but distant eyes. Cosmetic fillers attempt to restore the fullness of her 20s, but the natural symmetry of youth cannot be recreated. At 27, she looks like she's in her 40s. Paparazzi obsessively post before and after photos, turning her face into a map of decline, not just her appearance, but the expectations of a generation. To escape that cycle, she fled to Dubai, no paparazzi, no headline scandals, opening beach clubs, and making Netflix romantic comedies. At 38, Lohan is healthier and brighter, but the wound remains a tabloid headline that refuses to leave the front page. Each comeback carries the message, "Give her another chance," overshadowing the work itself. Lohan's aging is a symbol of speed, famous at 10, exhausted at 25. She reminds us that sometimes Hollywood's golden ticket is just a shiny version of an Amber Alert. In the 80s, Nick Nolte's lion-like strength made him a symbol of rugged sexiness, a wild, unpolished charisma. But addiction lurked behind the spotlight: GHB cocktails, constant whiskey, and a slow grind of years that eroded his skin, bulged his veins, and turned his signature deep voice into a raspy growl. The 2002 mugshot, tangled hair, Hawaiian shirt, glazed eyes captured more than a moment of fall. It became a symbol of the fall of a masculine icon. Today, at 83, Nolte wanders around Malibu, looking like a weathered sea captain, unkempt beard, loose shirt, soft but distant eyes. Unlike those who cling to their old image, he embraces his eccentricity, calling himself a 200-year-old miner and smiling at what remains. But the price has been clear: a double knee replacement, a waning memory roles limited to hermits or old sages often forgotten in the end credits. Nolte's gruesome aging is oddly enough endearing because he doesn't hide it. No Botox, no facelift, just the vivid scars of a life lived unabashedly. But fans still can't watch The Prince of Tides without a pang. The once melting masculinity now trudges through Trader Joe's with a cane and an old canvas hat. It's a reminder that even the sexiest man alive is just a decade away from becoming an internet meme. Tara Reid emerged as a teen icon after American Pie blonde hair, sweet smile, Y2K-era body. But her rise to fame spiraled into a tabloid vortex. Endless nights of partying, dubious weight loss deals, and a botched boob job that left her stomach bulging like a water slide. Her confidence crumbled in the pages of the papers. Her weight fluctuated wildly one month. She was as skinny as a medical alert. The next, she was mysteriously bloated, making her the subject of endless, cruel headlines. Her Sharknado comeback attempt was treated as a self-deprecating joke, but the red carpet photos told a different story. Her cheeks were sunken. Her hair was brittle and dry like sunburned straw. Her gait was disoriented. In interviews, her speech became slurred and disjointed, later blamed on the side effects of painkillers. Producers didn't wait for an explanation. They quietly dropped her from the casting list, leaving a void that no one asked about. Subsequent lackluster roles didn't restore her status, only made her fragility more apparent. Now at 49, Tara claims to be sober away from the party scene, but years of sleep deprivation, dehydration, and chronic stress have etched a permanent fragility into her features. Listening to Tara Reid speak now is like holding a fragile glass, one wrong touch, and it will shatter. Her aging is not a matter of moral decay, but of the gradual erosion of self-esteem under the unforgiving spotlight. Hollywood has given her fame without providing any armor, and the paparazzi like vultures have nibbled away until all that's left is her bare nerves. Keith Richards, the Rolling Stone, who once sniffed his father's ashes, has somehow outlived his more wholesome peers, but not without leaving his mark. Every wrinkle tells the story of cigarettes, heroin, and the dawn-to-dawn tours that have left his skin leathery and his cheekbones jutting out like ancient stone. But beneath those vine-like veins lies a strange vitality. At 81, Richards still belts out riffs that defy the medical books. Doctors call him a living study in resilience. Fans call him immortal. Aging horribly visually. Yes, he looks like a voodoo wizard carved from mahogany. But unlike the Botox-obsessed stars, Keith treats every wrinkle like a lyric. The paradox is fascinating. He looks like he should have died in 1978, yet he still plays 3-hour shows without a lyric cue. Perhaps the secret is embracing decline as a style. New audiences are still amazed, wondering how a living skeleton can glide so smoothly across the guitar keys. Richards proves that aging can be both terrifying and triumphant at the same time. Plastic surgery was once a favorite joke of Joan Rivers. She likened her face to a wedding gift that was given and given again, a sardonic reversion twist. But by the 2010s, the joke had crossed its own boundaries, skin so taut it no longer moved naturally, cheeks that were almost immobile, eyes that were always wide with surprise, and a chin that was sharper than the humor that had once made her famous. The first glance was no longer one of laughter, but of shock. Behind the scenes, health complications from decades of plastic surgery began to accumulate. In 2014, Joan Rivers died after an anesthesia accident, a sudden passing that many called death on the operating table. Posthumous documents reveal the insecurities behind each surgery. Producers criticized her as two ethnic executives said she was too old. Rivers responded with plastic surgery and sarcasm, as if she couldn't please them with age, she would make them laugh beyond recognition. While her comedy became a legacy, her face became a cautionary tale at dermatology conferences, projected not for her talent, but for its cosmetic consequences. Rivers's terrible aging was a bittersweet paradox. Society mocked her treatment even more than the gender stereotypes that created her panic in the first place. Rivers built a fortress of silicone and sutures to fight against invisibility, old age oblivion, and banality. But it was a battle she ultimately lost, not on stage, but on the operating table. Walking into a runway rehearsal in Milan, the spotlights reflect off Donatella Versace's icy platinum hair, but your eyes are locked on her face, smooth beyond natural boundaries, so taut that the light slides endlessly. Chemists may spend years replicating Versace's texture, but her doctor-level ability to recreate laser-cut brows is hard to match. Each surgery was a statement of eternal glamour of her invincibility, and most of all of her place in the fashion empire after the assassination of her brother Gianni in 1997. But critics said otherwise. The more Donatella tried to embody the brand, the more it resembled a living mannequin. Her smile often froze mid-smile, as if programmed. Her tanned skin glistened like expensive PVC. She walked, but her expression couldn't keep up, like a faulty software update. Yet she has sold an image that millions have come to admire, proving that terrible aging can be incredibly lucrative when packaged correctly as an icon, as a vision, as a brand. Her face may be startling to the uninitiated, but in a world where youth is an asset, she has succeeded by gilding disfigurement. Fashion's pulse waits for no one, and it doesn't even slow down to the rhythm of biology. Donatella doesn't fight aging. She reframes it, terrifying, but impossible to look away from. Janice Dickinson. The world's first supermodel has always loved extremes, from her spirited catwalk walks to her cocaine-fueled life and relentless cosmetic surgeries. Years of battling an eating disorder have left their mark on her face. Her cheeks are sunken in, like the passage of time. Misaligned implants sometimes throw her features out of balance, and Botox keeps her forehead smooth but leaves an unconcealable sag in her neck. Reality TV has even amplified every detail, turning her personal battle into a never-ending public spectacle. Janice's trademark raucous laugh and brutal candor are still there, as strong as ever, but the cameras don't spare her overly bright porcelain teeth, her skin so thin that her veins are visible, and her eyelids that seem to blink constantly in an attempt to hold on to their youth. Despite facing criticism and controversy, Fonda has remained steadfast in her beliefs and continued to use her platform to bring about change. She has received numerous awards and accolades for her work in both acting and social activism, including 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress. In recent years, Fonda has continued to be active in both film and social work, using her influence to raise awareness about issues such as climate change and inequality. Her legacy as a pioneer. Demi Moore is a prominent figure in Hollywood, known for her exceptional acting talent. Her beauty has been widely praised, often described as striking and alluring, with dark hair, sharp eyes, and defined facial features that easily capture attention both on screen and off. Moore's personal life has always attracted public attention and curiosity, particularly her high-profile relationships and marriages, including their divorce attracted significant media attention, although they have maintained a cordial relationship for the sake of their children. In recent years, Demi Moore has continued to participate in the entertainment industry, taking on diverse roles and proving her enduring appeal as an actress. However, like many other stars, she has also faced personal challenges, including struggles with addiction and health issues. To this day, Demi Moore remains healthy and continues to make occasional appearances. Aging is harsh, definitely. But Iggy Pop has faced it on his own terms. He doesn't claim to be beautiful or flawless, just authentic. To the average viewer, his image can be unsettling, like watching a human anatomy lesson unfold live on stage. Pop shows that lifestyle leaves a permanent, unmistakable mark. Some fans celebrate his rare honesty, while others turn away, unwilling to confront the tough. Ozzy Osbourne, the legend who once bit the head off a bat and shook the world with his outrageous reality shows, now confronts the harsh toll of decades of substance abuse. His trembling hands and slurred speech turn every step to the microphone into a test of sheer determination. A Parkinson's diagnosis and spinal surgeries add to the heavy physical price paid by the once fierce rocker is now thin and gaunt, his dyed black hair standing out sharply against his pale skin. But Ozzy's eyes still hold that wild spark like a fire that refuses to die out. His harsh aging reads like a public ledger of chemical debts, each scar and wrinkle telling a story of pain and endurance. He once joked that doctors keep him alive only because science isn't done learning. The sight of the Prince of Darkness leaning on his walker broke the hearts of metal fans, but they only cheered louder, knowing every extra day of Ozzy's life was a powerful encore. Like a crumbling Gothic cathedral, the wear and decay added to its haunting majesty, while the creaking scaffolding hinted at a fate both fragile and unbreakable. Ozzy Osbourne's survival stands as a tribute to the unyielding will and spirit of a true legend. Post Liza Minnelli once dazzled on Broadway, a blazing firework in tights shining without end. But over the years, hip replacements, viral encephalitis, and spinal surgeries have softened that glow. At 79, she still takes the stage, seated in a chair. Her voice unsteady, her hands trembling, yet never losing her fierce determination that refuses to leave the front page. Each comeback carries the message, give her another chance, overshadowing the work itself. The once giddy prankster now looks like a younger version of his masked circus self. While the jokes are still sharp and on target, audiences are starting to pay more attention to the bulging muscles than the comedic punchlines. Carrot Top's aging shows the consequences of panicking amid a thriving career and unlimited money. The muscles grow bigger, but the intimacy and spontaneity gradually disappear. Watching Liza Minnelli age is like seeing the lights of Times Square flicker, still shining, but with a few bulbs gone dark. She reminds us that entertainers aren't immortal supernovas, but flames that burn twice as bright as most, and because of that, they burn out twice as fast. Today, at 83, Nolte wanders around Malibu, looking like a weathered sea captain. From the icy Vulcan officer in Star Trek II to the warm-hearted Rebecca in Cheers' Kirstie Alley embodies constant change both on-screen and off. Her body has turned into a public battleground, constantly under scrutiny. Tabloids monitor every pound, every curve, leaving her restless and exposed. Nolte's gruesome aging is oddly enough endearing because he doesn't hide it. No Botox, no facelift. In response to that pressure, Alley spoke openly on her reality show and signed with the popular diet brand Jenny Craig. Rapid weight gains left deep stretch marks, while quick losses caused sunken cheeks and sagging skin. Additionally, her controversial political statements during the COVID pandemic caused her fan base to shrink. Before her death from colon cancer in 2022, Alley stayed fragile but determined. UK-era body, but her rise to fame. Kirstie Alley's harsh aging wasn't just about the physical changes. It was also about how society made her a target in invisible battles. When she gained weight, she faced ridicule. When she lost it, she became a marketing tool. The fight only ended when illness forced her to stop showing that some battles, even those within ourselves, can't be won with any diet. Scott Thompson, aka Carrot Top, was once loved for his trademark red curly hair and fast-paced prop-based comedy. His goofy, bright smile kept audiences laughing nonstop. But after years of shows in Las Vegas, he hit the gym hard, making his muscles bulge and his face puff up with filler. The once playful prankster now resembles a younger version of his masked circus persona. While his jokes remain sharp and on point, audiences are beginning to focus more on his bulging muscles than his punchlines. Carrot Top's aging reveals the cost of panic during a booming career and endless money. The muscles get bigger, he laughs off the plastic surgery rumors, but candid photos tell the full story from beginning to end. Carrot Top's transformation is both intriguing and unsettling, like an action figure whose batteries never quite line up, sometimes bursting with energy, other times worn out and out of sync. Jogging along the Malibu sands, Pamela Anderson was the 90s sex symbol, her red swimsuit image etched into legend. But decades later, she's faced battles with transplants, hepatitis C treatment, and the demands of social and charitable causes. Pamela is ready to show her real self in a makeup-free. Critics applauded the rare honesty in the glamorous world, but for audiences, the contrast was shocking, making it hard to let go of the perfect pin-up image etched in their minds. While Pamela worked to reinvent herself through memoirs and Broadway, her body still bore the marks of ultraviolet rays, silicone procedures, and years spent living under the glamorous yet stressful spotlight. Critics call him a living study in resilience. Fans call him immortal. In addition to her roles in films that highlight the Black experience, Pam Grier has proven her versatility by participating in a wide range of genres, from action films to comedy and drama, showcasing her exceptional ability and talent. Beyond her acting career, Pam Grier is also known for her activism and social work. She is a strong advocate for women's rights and racial equality. Audrey Hepburn is an eternal icon of elegance and grace, beloved as both an actress and a humanitarian, leaving an indelible mark on Hollywood history. Known for her timeless beauty, her gentle features, expressive eyes, and radiant smile captured the hearts of audiences worldwide. Hepburn's illustrious career spanned several decades, during which she starred in a series of classic films such as Roman Holiday Breakfast at Tiffany's and My Fair Lady. Her performances always combined a rare blend of vulnerability, strength, and charm, earning her critical acclaim and new. In addition to her acting talent, Audrey Hepburn is also admired for her humanitarian work. She served as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador from 1988 until her death advocating for children's rights and humanitarian causes worldwide. Her dedication to charitable efforts earned her the Presidential Medal of Freedom, recognizing her contributions to society. Despite her tremendous success, Audrey Hepburn maintained a humble and approachable demeanor, displaying grace and compassion both on screen and in her personal life. Her legacy. Thank you for joining us on the journey to explore the most beautiful stars of Hollywood. If you enjoyed this trip, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting content. Your support means a lot to us. See you next time with even more fascinating stories. And even more than the gender stereotypes that created her panic in the first place. Rivers built a fortress of silicone and it started with Oscar buzz, but quickly spiraled into shocking mathematical pronouncements. After a salary dispute led to his ouster from Iron Man 2, Howard's interviews drifted into bizarre calculations. He insisted that 1 × 1 = 2 and revealed his patent-pending concept of terology. His incoherent statements left the public unsure what to believe, and he became less a movie star and more a showbiz oddity. Accusations of domestic violence, 4 failed marriages, and numerous lawsuits have further tarnished his reputation. He briefly returned to the spotlight on Empire, but behind the scenes, rumors circulated that he was lecturing his co-stars on sacred geometry and arcane theories. The image of a once bright star now lost in the maze of his own thoughts. Physically, stress has etched the once perfect bone structure into tired, frail lines. His eyes are always confused, like someone facing a world that refuses to acknowledge its own logic. At 55, Howard looks much older than he is, his shoulders weighed down by the burden of his own mental exile. His terrible aging is not only physical, but also mental. From a confident leader, he has slipped into uncertainty, becoming a lost prophet on the fringes of society. A 1988 motorcycle accident, in which he was not wearing a helmet, left Gary Busey with a portion of his skull missing and permanently altering his impulse control. After his recovery, interviews became filled with cryptic aphorisms like, "There's no Hoboken on the carpet tomorrow." His oversized, porcelain-toothed smile pushed his lips outward, and corrective surgery for a broken face left him with an asymmetrical face that overshadowed the once sophisticated dramatic actor. From a critically acclaimed actor, Busey moved on to eccentric reality TV, screaming at meatballs on Celebrity Apprentice and blessing houseplants on Big Brother. Now in his 80s, he regularly drives a trolley around a Malibu parking lot, startling tourists with spontaneous and unexpected life coaching sessions. The wildness is still there, but it's no longer controlled. Every wrinkle on Gary's face squirms like an EKG graph of chaotic energy that never goes away. His terrible aging is a painful reminder the accident has locked him into a permanent state, leaving his face, his voice, his reputation in a constant state of vibration, unable to find the peace of the past. The world fell in love with Macaulay Culkin as the cheek-slapping boy in Home Alone, a symbol of bright and funny childhood. But the glory quickly faded as tabloid headlines of endless partying and stick-thin images circulated. A legal battle between his parents not only drained his fortune but also shattered the confidence of the once brightest star on the small screen. The depression pushed Culkin into heavy drug experimentation, where childhood and innocence were crushed in the dark. paparazzi images of Culkin with his sunken eyes and cigarette-thin hands and feet shocked fans, while many just wanted to keep him at 10 forever. But the boy chose to turn his life around, from famous actor to member of the art parody band, the Pizza Underground, then hosting his own podcast, trying to rebuild his health and spirit through humor and creativity. The comeback was not perfect, but it was full of hope and determination. At 44, Macaulay Culkin looks healthier than ever, but the softness and innocence of childhood have given way to the hard, angular weariness of a life spent in the sun. His aging story suggests that fame ages twice, once biologically and once psychologically, as loss and pressure relentlessly follow. Though he has found his own peace, the original boy lives on in holiday reruns, a mocked image of Culkin growing up from TV static, defying the ever-changing tides of life. And that's it for our list of celebrities who have aged incredibly well, from once glorious icons to faces that now tell a tale of time, scandal, and tough choices. Every wrinkle, every change is proof that fame can't stand the test of time. Which story did you find most shocking? Share your thoughts in the comments, give it a heart, and subscribe to our channel for more Hollywood secrets.